Every now and again, we love to introduce to one another friends from the other LifePoint churches. As you will be aware, there's a LifePoint church in Neath, and there's a LifePoint church in Mayhill, and there's a LifePoint church in Pembrokeshire, all meeting today. And we just love to take opportunities for us to meet one another and make friends across the miles, because that whole patch is about 100 miles wide. And today we've brought here a couple we love very much from LifePoint Church in Pembrokeshire. We love these guys. We first got to know the guy, and then they had a beautiful wedding. Back in their home country. They'll tell you all about it. I remember a group of us getting up in the early hours of the morning to watch the live stream of this spectacular wedding. And they're back now in Wales, working for the NHS in Pembrokeshire, part of the LifePoint Pembrokeshire Church. And they're here as a married couple. And I just love their story. I just love how the hand of God has been upon their life. And we thought, why don't we take a moment? They're just going to chat for 10 or 15 minutes about their story, how they found their faith and their journey to this country. And I thought it'd be great for us to make some friends with a man and woman of God. And when they've shared their story, we got some bread and wine, and we're going to celebrate being the family of God from across the nations and the cultures, from all across God's world. He is making a family, and there's nothing on earth like the family of God. So we're going to celebrate that together. But first, let me introduce you to the wonderful, amazing, beautiful John and Jothy. Give them a big hand. God bless you guys. Come on, guys. Good to see you. How you doing, man? This is John. One other important detail that really should have been at the top of the list, but I omitted. John is a Liverpool supporter, so this is good, isn't it? Yeah, that's sort of a cheer over there. Yeah, a couple of boos, couple of cheers. He's got it worked out in the football terms. This is beautiful, Jothy. How are you doing? Okay. We will never forget the night we got up. I think it was 3 a.m. and watched how stunning you looked as a bride. And I think a little bit later we might be able to see a photo of your wedding. That'd be amazing. So, John, are you going to start? Yeah? There you go, my friend.
Morning, everyone. Glory be to God. I'd like to do a little prayer before I start, if that's okay. God, we give you all the glory and the honor, and thank you for this opportunity, for helping us share our testimony, the goodness of your love in our lives. You be the king and the ruler, and just watch over us as we share your goodness. Amen. Thank you, Mike, for the opportunity. It's quite overwhelming to be here again and share testimony in front of a large group. We're not used to this kind in Pembrokeshire, but yeah, thank you again. So my testimony is going to be a timeline of how I accepted Christ and how his good work in my life has impacted me to a huge extent that I will not let go of him no matter what happens. So I was born and brought up in India, in a South Indian community. I'm from Coimbatore. Joe is from Kerala, and my family, they are Orthodox Hindus. My ancestors and forefathers were priests in temples. So my journey coming to Christ has been amazing, and I thought I'll share it so it encourages one of you all here. I was 8 when I accepted Christ. Before that, I should have lost my life twice before I was 8. When I was 3 years old, I had some kind of illness, and I was in a deathbed. And the doctor said, you have 6 months to live, and you will not see your 4th birthday. I don't know how I survived, but I'm here now. And when I was 8, I was diagnosed with typhoid. I was in the hospital for 6 months. And again, the doctor said, you will not see your 9th birthday. You will not be more than 3 months. But somehow I got discharged out of the hospital and managed to get home, and I survived that as well. And then when I was 9 years old, My mum was working for a company in India. She had a lot of troubles with her family life, and she met one of her colleagues who was a Christian, who was going to church, and he was an assistant pastor in the church, and he said, why don't you come to church with us? Before that, we tried every temple, we did everything that could save us somehow, but nothing worked. And one fine Sunday, we went to church. We didn't know who Christ was, so we didn't know what the Bible is, so we just blindly followed his instructions. And we went to the church. Church was jam-packed. We were stood by the gate because there were no seats. On that day, I felt something strange happening inside of me. I don't have words to put it, but it was something going on inside of me. I was in tears. My mom was in tears. My brother was stood by me. He was in tears. And when we got home, we felt some sort of peace that we've never experienced before. So week after week, we started going to church, got to know the Bible, and we had my mom's friend come home and pray for us and explain how God's love is for us and how he died for our sins. And so I thought to realize there is a living God, and all these years we've been blindly led to worship not the true God. So as years went by, in school I was just an average kid. I didn't excel in studies. I enjoyed sport though. Never in studies. I was not good at all. And then my academic side of things started improving. I started scoring good grades in school, got into a good university, and did my nursing in India as well. That's where I met Joe. So we met in university, and we were studying together. So we completed university, and then if going back into the timeline, if God came in a vision or in a dream and said, John, you'll be going abroad and you'll be working there, I would have laughed and I would have been in doubt. I was doubting Thomas then because I didn't have a passport. I had an issue with my passport because when I was a Hindu, I had a different name. I had a different passport, which somehow my mom lost it. And when I had to apply for a passport again, the officer said, we're not going to issue a passport because, one, you changed religion, and two, because you lost the old one, you don't have any proof that you had this passport, so we're not going to give you another one. It was quite challenging because even before I applied for a job, I was getting job opportunities from the UK. But every time I got through an interview and I would say I don't have a passport, and they were just saying, we'll wait for it. No, it's fine. We'll just wait till you get your passport and you can come over. I had to wait 2 years just to get a passport. The story behind that is quite amazing. So this passport officer challenged us and said, because you changed your religion, I'm not going to give you a passport. You can write it down in your diary. You're not going anywhere, son. I was in tears because it put me down so much, and I was praying to God every day. I was in fasting and saying, why is this happening, Lord? If this is your will, just do a miracle. And then one of my mom's friends said, we'll get a solicitor and we can sort this out. So we filed a case against the passport officer, and we got the name change certificate and all the other things that go along with it, and applied for a new application. And the verdict from the Supreme Court, or the court, the judge said, this guy does not have any criminal records. Why are you stopping him? And he said, I'm happy to offer a passport with his mom's name on, because I had lost my father in 2014. My mom was my guardian, so back in that time, they didn't have the facility to add mom's name in passports, and then my name was added with my mom. and they issued me a new passport. And the solicitor who fought for our case, he said, this has never happened in the history of Indian passport. And he said, you are serving a true living God. And he said, in all my years of being a solicitor, I've never seen a case like this. And you fought through and you stood along. And all glory goes to God. And then I got the job in Buckinghamshire in Wickham. I met Phil Goss and Nikki. Are they here? Oh, hi, Nikki. So I started a job in Wickham in Buckinghamshire NHS Trust, and it was all going so well. I was enjoying my job there, and I had to take this exam to do the adaptation for my nursing in the UK. Unfortunately, after 2 trials, I failed my exam, and back then the rule was once you fail your 2 attempts, your visa gets cancelled and you go back to the country where you came from. So I lost my contract 3 months into the job. I had to find a new sponsor. That's when I met Phil from King's Church. So I met Phil in King's Church in one of the home meetings, and he said, I work in Wales, and I had to apply for a new sponsor and managed to find one in Wales that was in Pembrokeshire. So Phil took me to church one day, and Mike was there on a summer evening. I was again at the back of the church. I didn't know anyone. It was quite a new place to me, and Mike introduced me, and I was in tears that day as well. I had no money with me. I had no job for the last 6 months. I was just living off toast and tea. Basically I was rough back then. But some of my friends, they stood by me, and they were quite supportive. And friends from King's Church as well. They were sending me some money so I can just live off something and pay my rent, or just share rooms with friends. It was quite hard going, and I said, Lord, if this was your plan, why did you bring me here? Because it's not going so well. I'd rather go back home and start a job there. But if this is your will, if this is what you want me to go through, then it's fine. And then I got the job in Pembrokeshire, and since I got that job, I've been so grateful to God that He's helped me so much come up in life, and to stand as a testimony in front of you all is amazing. Thank you. Joe's just going to share a little bit more, if that's okay.
My name is Jo. I'm from southern part of India. So I worship God because I'm born and brought up in a Christian family. But my family followed Syrian Orthodox Church. It's quite different. It's not like we don't have worship like this. And I studied my degree in university, and they follow CSI. I think it's similar to Pentecost Church. So in that university, it's compulsory to attend both like morning and evening service. When I went to my first service, I saw many of them are crying. They are talking different languages, and I'm a bit scared. I thought, why they are praying? Why they want to cry to God? They can just say their needs and just go back to normal life. Then I said to my warden, I don't want to attend chapel service. Always I said, I'm sick, I don't want to go, because I'm scared to go to the chapel service. It's very, very weird. Then time just ran away. Then I think when I was doing my final year, I was in my classroom. One of my HOD was praying in the chapel, and she just asked someone to bring me down there. Then she was started to pray for me. I don't know what happened. I started to cry, and I'm started to bless. Like I was filled with Holy Spirit, and I'm started to say holy tongues, but I don't want to say. I was just keeping myself. No, I don't want to say. Then she said, "No, you can. You have to worship God." And she told all my past history, which I was never ever share with anyone. So I was surprised how she know about me, because when I was doing my 8th standard, I was ill, and even from the hospital, they just asked my parents to take me home because they don't want to do nothing from me. And they said, that's it, maybe she'll not last for more than 12 hours. So we were about to leave the hospital. I'd never seen my father was crying, so he was just cried to the chapel there, and there was a nun. We don't know from where she came. And she said, "Why are you crying? Can I help you?" Then my father said, "My daughter is about to." Yeah, so she came to me and she just prayed and she just gave me a cross. Then everything was normal after that moment. So we searched for her everywhere, but we couldn't find her. So yeah, that's the first time my father started to pray. Otherwise, he'll just go to church and just do like that. 3 times, then that's it. I don't know what he was praying, so yeah, it's different. Then after I finished my degree, I got a job in United Arab Emirates. So I went there, worked there for 6 months. Then I need to do my nursing registration there. I applied for my exam. I cleared my exams, and we have a lot of procedures to get a license. So from the government side, they said they can't give me a license because I don't have 2 years of experience from my home country. So I need to go back to India. So I was totally lost. I was literally crying in the flight. I came back, and they considered that as a gap for me in my career. So I can't apply for any other jobs. Almost like I was going on depression, and even my father said to me, "It's better you go and die, but you want to live like this." So I prayed, and I got was like
the verse goes like, I will show you an olive tree in a foreign land.
in the desert. So that's the translation, sorry. And I got an offer letter from Saudi Arabia, and when I went to the interview, there is almost like 30,000 people, 30,000 nurses are there for apply for a job, and the vacancy is only 4,500 people. And I don't have any emergency experience before. So when my chance was, I went to the manager, and he just asked me, "Are you willing to work in A&E?" I said, "Okay, yeah, I'm all right." Then they said, "Yeah, you can join." He didn't ask me anything. I was like, wonder, because just the person before me, she went there. He was asking lots of questions, more than 30 questions, but I don't know what happened to me. He just said, "Okay, you can just go and sign your offer letter there." I said, "Really?" When I went to Saudi Arabia, I don't know anything because it was blank. I have almost 1 year gap. I don't know what all the policies and procedures going on there. They just put me in triage. It's just like doing observations and just say, you can go there. So it's very easy. And even though I don't know the language, yeah, then suddenly after 1 year, they said you have to move to resuscitation. So only doing observations, going to resuscitation area is like, I don't know what I will do because I don't know anything. And even I don't know how to cannulate on that time. Whenever I'm cannulating someone, it's just like bulging. So during the first intubation, going on there in the emergency department, my doctor, he said, "You out," because I don't know what to say. So he said, "Go out." Then, yeah, it's just passed. After 3 months, the same doctor, whenever he want to do any procedures or intubation. He just said, Joe, call Joe. I need Joe to be with me because I prayed every day and I can able to do everything by my own. So, and from the Saudi government, I got a Best Nurse Award in 2014, and I feel very proud on that moment because I cried a lot when I came to that country because I don't know anything. So, it's if God gives you a word, doesn't think like it will happen suddenly. He'll keep you. You will go to a lot of stress, frustration. Maybe you'll think it will never ever happen in your life. It's just a verse. Maybe no, it never happen. That's what we will think. But God has a special plan for you, and that will happen. But you have to wait patiently. After that, we got married in 2021. And I just quit my job from there. Then when I need to apply for a UK visa, I need police clearance from all the countries. I have visited and stayed more than 1 year. So I didn't have a police clearance from United Arab Emirates. So I tried to apply for that. They said, because I didn't keep any of the documents from there. I don't know really needs. So they said they can't give me a police clearance. And my friends, my church friends, they were just trying. They were going every police officers, and they'll just say, get out, get out. So I was crying because I already quit my job. I can't go India because my passport is with Indian embassy because I applied for my Indian police clearance as well. Then, I don't know what to do because my Saudi visa is going to expire within 1 month. I was literally crying again. I was asking God, why this is happening to me? Then I was on a prayer meeting. I was literally crying. And one person from the prayer meeting, he just stood up and said, there is someone here and praying for something. I don't know what's that, but you will get you are going to taste the God in a different way. So I thought, what is that? And he was just standing behind me, and he keeps on looking on me and saying that. I said no, because I don't have anything to do. I'm not going. Maybe I'm just going to the jail because my visa is going to expire. I don't know what to do. Then one of my church friends, he calls me that he went to the gym and he was discussing something there. There was a policeman, but he don't know that's a policeman. He just came there. What's going on with you guys? You are not normal like before. You are always discussing something seriously. Then he said, no, my sister wants to go to UK and she needs a police clearance, but we don't have any previous document, so they said they can't. Then he just asked them, did she use the same email ID from the beginning? Then he said, yeah, I think so. Then he just texted me. I said, yes, it's almost like 8 p.m. and you never ever they will open their office, like government's office, after 8 p.m. He said, I can do it for you, come on. Then they went there, and within 5 minutes, I got my police clearance. And the thing is, there are a lot of Hindus in the gym, and they said to my friend, I never ever believe when Christians said there is a miracle, but I can see that because it's impossible, but with God, everything is possible. So, and even I applied to my home country for my police clearance. We don't own a house, so we were living in a rented house for 5 years, so all my documents was in that address, and my parents leave that place. So they said they can't give me police clearance from India. So again, the same thing happened. I don't know what to do. So, my father was a lot of stress. So they, the police from India, they just make a lot of harassment against him. So Then he said, no, we are not going to give her police clearance. Let her come back here. Then I asked Indian embassy, so this is what the problem going on. I don't know, my visa is going to expire. I need to go to India, but I don't have a passport. But the Indian embassy chairman, he said, no problem. I can give you the passport because you don't have a criminal clearance, and this is not a sin that you don't have a home. So I can help you. I don't know what happened to the policeman. Then he called back my father after 1 week, then said, I'm happy to give you police clearance. You can come back at. So, yeah. Can say.
Yeah, and then Joe arrived to the country, and we again had to struggle um, with her residence permit because the war crisis was going on, and we applied for a 1 week. So we expedited the visa, but nothing arrived. It took like 6 months for the visa to arrive. So she couldn't join work. She was going through a bit of stress because she wanted to work straight away, and yeah, everything just went upside down. But in all this, God has been so gracious to us. So Joe finally started working 4 months back. So hopefully we'll carry on working and sharing God's goodness with everyone we see, and stand as a testimony for lots of years to come. Thank you.